There's this rope swing down the road at Rigg Bay. It's been there for years in one form or another. Someone clearly keeps an eye on it. Right now it's got 2 decent ropes and a bit of driftwood for a seat, smoothed off so it doesn't take the skin off the back of your legs. And every time I see a swing like that, a good solid rope swing, especially at this time of year, it just takes me straight back. I don't know what it is, but summer flicks the nostalgia switch harder than anything else. When I was a kid, summer meant freedom. Whole days just disappeared. I'd be off on my bike, finding places that felt miles from anywhere. Other times we'd go away for a week or two, caravan in North Wales, B&B in Blackpool. Looking back, I don't actually miss being young. I miss the summers, those seemingly endless school holidays that felt like they lasted half a year. We've actually had a proper summer these past few weeks, and if I'm honest, I've done remarkably little. I'm a pale-skinned, bald bloke of, I think, Celtic ancestry. 22 degrees is about where my internal check engine light comes on. The animals agree with me. The sheep cram themselves into any tiny bit of shade they can find, and the cows tuck into the hedgerow. They graze less when it's hot, so everything on the farm just slows right down. Although, come the evening, when it cools off, 1 or 2 of them suddenly get a burst of energy from somewhere. It's basically a Friday night outside of Wetherspoons. But we don't really do pubs or clubs anymore. Life for Heather and me is a lot slower these days. During the hottest days, a week or 2 back, we opened a few doors and windows, shut the curtains, pointed a fan vaguely in our direction, and spent the middle of many an afternoon watching Wimbledon, like people with absolutely nowhere else to be. Which, to be fair, was the plan. A proper lazy summer, the kind I remembered. A few days ago we drove into Wigtown like we usually do. Independent bookshops, cafes, one charity shop, and as far as we know, not a single building with air conditioning. The co-op is the exception, and honestly, it's become a bit of a refuge. After a wander around the charity shop, we drove down to the harbour. It's always a little cooler by water. We opened the back doors of Wee Hugo, got our books out, and just sat there for an hour or so. Nothing happened. No great adventure, no dramatic sunset, no big important conversations. Just sitting, listening to the harbour and the odd gull, with nowhere we needed to be. Anyway, that was then. Today it's raining. Not much. Most of it will probably run straight off the ground that dry. But the gardeners and farmers will take it. It's been cooling down for a few days now. With the cooling down, I get a little bit more motivated to do things. And sorry if I'm distracted, I'm waiting. We've got this feral cat that I occasionally feed when she's just outside the window. But she's not wanting to come and get her food because I'm sat a little bit too close for comfort. I'm trying to capture her on the phone while I'm talking. She looks very comfortable. She's very content there, but She's just a little bit disturbed down here and a little bit too close to her food. Oh, here we go. Fed up with waiting. So the cooler weather got me a little bit more motivated to do things. I don't feel like doing anything when it's hot. So the grass needed cutting. It's needed cutting for weeks. A lazy summer catches up with you, as you'd expect. And despite all my research about how you don't need to mow the grass at all, it's good for biodiversity, ecologically friendly and all that, and the bees and the butterflies love it, and that's been great. But it gets to a point where it just looks a mess, and there's some element of guilt there, even though we've got no neighbours telling us to mow the grass and shame us. It's needed cutting, so I dragged the mower out. Meanwhile, the farmers have been out every day during the hot spell. Animals don't get days off because the weather's nice. And what's that old phrase? Make hay while the sun shines? You really see it in action when you're living on a farm as a guest rather than a worker. It's relentless. While I was struggling, pushing and pulling our tiny mower through the undergrowth, the neighbours across the way were doing basically the same job. Bigger field though. Huge machines, cutting, raking, baling the whole thing before I'd finished one strip by the gate. Different scale of operation. Slightly. I got about half done, and I ached for days, blistered my hands. Entirely my own fault, of course. If I did it every week instead of waiting for the jungle to reclaim it, it wouldn't be nearly such a fight. But where's the fun in that? 4 weeks of summer, or near enough. That's what we got. Part of me's glad it's cooled off, if I'm honest. But I wouldn't mind it coming back before September's out. Even though the second it does, the grass will take off and the uncut patches will be waist high. I think I might have to borrow a scythe.